today? Great? Yes, yes. Divine love in and through me uplifts and blesses you right now. The title of my talk this morning is From Victim to Victor. We all have hopes and dreams, and we all set our sights on a day of fulfillment, don't we? But sometimes for some of us, that date of fulfillment is a moving target. And we wonder, you know, doesn't God hear my prayers? Is he hearing me? Am I praying correctly? I am told that ask whatever you will. Jesus said it, ask whatever you will, and it will be done for you by my Father. That seems simple enough. Yeah, but I'm praying, I think. But I'm not getting that answer. What then stands in the way of fulfillment for me? I'm not a victim. I am a victor. I am powerful. I am victorious. There is an electromagnetic field. It's a field of energy surrounding the body that carries information on what is going on in your mind, you know, your thoughts, and what is going on in your body. And medical intuitives can quickly tell exactly what is going on with you, whether you're healthy or unhealthy. Because, you see, they are attuned to the master physician, and they can discern clearly and decipher the information that is deposited in that energy field. Thus, they will encourage us to examine our thoughts or beliefs or superstitions or habits and our behavior, those things that perpetuate energy buildups in our energy field. And I must tell you that events in our lives, whether they're negative or they're positive, they carry with them an emotional charge that registers in our psyche. And from there, the neuropeptides in our bodies, the protein molecules that carry information, they instant message the over 50 trillion cells in our bodies. And they cause, it is said that they cause an effect in the gene expression, in the local blood flow, in our muscle action and function. And because these molecules have prolonged action, it is said that they affect our behavior. Long-term effects, striking effects on behavior. Now, Dr. Deepak Chopra refers to them as the mind-body bridge. So, dear friends, every time we think of a previous challenging event in our lives, or some perception that we have, or some understanding that we have, the body gets to hear it over and over and over again, and it responds by building it into the energy field. And when the buildup reaches challenging proportions, I would say excessive proportions, it will outpicture as an episode in our body and in our mind. And you know, I now understand what the co-founder of Unity, Charles Fillmore, meant when he said, all thoughts are creative, but not all thoughts are formative. Simply because some do not have enough of an energy charge. You getting this? The energy charge. Life is consciousness. The sum total of our thoughts, our feelings, our attitudes and beliefs. So we are not born into a consciousness of a victim. It results from how we perceive, how we process, how we react to certain events that are occurring in our lives. And generally, such persons who have challenging events or feel that they're victim, they see themselves as a victim because when they are harmed, they feel that they did not have any part in it. They didn't take part in it. They didn't attribute any responsibility for that act to themselves. They may feel that the act is unjust or undeserved. And because they are good persons, you're good persons, right? Because they're good persons, you see, they deserve every sympathy. They see other people's intentions towards them as negative. Some people have all the luck. I'm sure you have attended some pity parties, have you? Sometime or another, where people's stuff, they feel they have to hash it and rehash it over and over again. And sometimes, not without embellishment. I have a wonderful friend, and she's a great storyteller. And she tells me stories, and her daughter walks up to me and she says, I hope you know she embellishes. Wonderful, wonderful. I love her. She's not a victim, though. She's just a good storyteller. But victims tend to develop a helplessness and a powerlessness about them. And it's just an attitude that causes them to miss opportunities for growth. Because, you see, fear anchors them in unfulfilling situations. And before you know it, the positive, uplifting people in their lives just steer clear of them. It's not intentional. It's just that because there is no mental congruence, no vibratory, come here to me, Joseph, no vibrations of resonance, the law of attraction does not bring them together. Not intentional, it's the law. Those of us who are parents, oh, and I'm blessed to see a child in this congregation this morning. Those of us who are parents and grandparents or family, who are the first line of socialization for our children, should become particularly aware of how we influence their lives so that we make their experiences positive and constructive. Check over and over to see how they perceive events that are happening in the home and in the community. Just a week ago, I spoke to my daughter, And she gave me an account of something that happened in her childhood. And I said to her, it didn't happen like that at all. And, you know, she had to concede after I told her that she got it wrong. You see, having children of her own right now, she now sees that children perceive things differently. That's why you have to check over and over to see if they got it. Children who receive negative feedback are criticized, teased. Today it's bullying. They tend to struggle with self-esteem issues. Therefore, let us become aware of the importance of positive ideas, positive images, messages, and right behavior that build healthy esteem. Let's face it, friends. We want to be a success. We want to be victorious. We want to experience fulfillment of our dreams. But on one hand, we are working on this great idea, and on the other hand, we have a negative emotional charge going through our mind from our past, you see. It's a loop that doesn't stop because the subconscious doesn't know, it doesn't reason that this is a negative thought. This isn't something you really want. The subconscious only knows to give you back what you have put into it when a trigger is given to it. So, the result is one idea just sabotages the other, and fulfillment is a moving target. I am here to tell you this morning, friends, God can heal any and every condition, and that He is continually calling you to become conscious of who you are, a victorious child of God. While everyone in this room may not be expressing a victim consciousness, you now know what it is. Am I right? Yes. And you can recognize it when you see it, so you don't go there. But we can also admit that there are some attitudes, beliefs, and behaviors that are in our energy field that we would like to see transformed. For they keep us anchored in fear, and they keep us anchored in negative, limiting experiences. So just let us replace them with positive, healthy ones. And I promise you, if you start now, you could be ready for a test at Thanksgiving. In some households, friends, that gathering at Thanksgiving, it guarantees that some buttons will get pushed. It guarantees that victim behavior will be on display. Do you agree? Yes. All right. I tell the truth, right? Here is the thing. Now that you are aware, you do not have to succumb to victim consciousness. Lift your thoughts high and declare that I am a child of God, powerful and victorious. You and you alone are responsible for how you think, how you feel, and how you act and react. The moment you refuse to react as the victim is the very moment that the energy dissipates like a deflated balloon. The power to heal is based within me. The power to heal is based in my taking action in my own life. Carolyn Miss, who is a medical intuitive, she says it this way, and I love it. Your biography does not have to become your biology. Love it. That old self that is upping the ante in your energy field, you do not have to make yourself sick. You do not have to despair. You do not have to be unhappy, friends. Change. I'm so aware of how much I have to embrace this. They say you preach what you need to know, you know. I am so aware, friends, that I need to embrace these ideas. That when you ask me to spell my name, I say M as in Mary, the mother of God. A, V as in Victor, I-S. Is. And while I am speaking, I'm remembering every challenging circumstance of my life is being changed, you see? I am a child of God. I am powerful. I am victorious. I am connecting with the healing, transforming power of God that sends the message through those neuropeptides to every cell, every tissue, every fiber of my being, shattering the hard conditions of my life and dissipating the centers of ignorance and suffering in my mind and in my body to restore my soul to its original undying state of life and light. The second understanding that we must have in healing our lives is to believe with all our heart that the power to change resides within me. It's the presence and power of God at the center of my being. God is my all-sufficiency in all things. There is no other power to heal. And because He indwells me, I draw upon His power in the unity of prayer, in my affirmations, through my times of contemplation and of reading wonderful materials, scriptures, self-help books. Let me share a story in the Gospel of John, John 4, verses 46 to 54. A nobleman from Capernaum whose son was dying on the brink of death. He heard that Jesus was in Galilee, and so he came to see him, to ask him to heal his son. He implored him, the scripture says, and to implore is to beg. To implore is to ask over and over again, to plead with him. And Jesus said to him, unless you see signs and wonders, you will not believe. Go your way. Your son lives. He's still imploring. Finally, he gets it. I have to believe. It is I who have to believe that my son lives in this moment. And he turns and he goes home. He goes his way. And while he's on his way, his servants come to meet him, and they, oh, your son is well, completely well. He says, tell me, what time did this happen? The servant said, it was about 1 o'clock yesterday. He said, the very time I believed. It was the very time that I believed. Friends, there is no time or space in spirit. God is an everywhere present God. That's why we call him omnipresent. And the word of truth, it is as instant and constant as God is. You are that same noble person, child of God, royalty. You are that same person asking the Father right now for a healing, for prosperity, for peace, for right relationships with your family. Ask your Father. And I say to you, dear one, it is already done. When you turn to the Father within and you hear the still small voice speaking to your soul, or you have a feeling of peace, or there's a sudden welling up of enthusiasm within you, or you just know that you know, it is an indication that your son, the offspring of your thought, yes, your son, the one idea that you gave birth to, that offspring is alive with possibility. You can leave your prayer time rejoicing that your desire is fulfilled, signed, sealed, and delivered. You can leave that prayer time moving in faith to live in the consciousness of a victim. Not a victim, but as a what? As a victor. By keeping your mind stayed on God in acceptance and obedience to his inspiration, his guidance, his direction, his empowerment to right action. People with a victim consciousness struggle with control issues in their day-to-day management of life. But in moving to the consciousness of a victor, the control issues fall away as you trust in God. In this trust, you become progressively selfless, egoless. For the realization comes that there is only one mind, and that mind is God mind. That you have consciousness in that mind. It is the same mind that was in Jesus, and it is the same mind that is in you. And just as it guided him, provided for him, protected him, loved him, healed through him, oh my goodness, it will do the same thing for you. Declare for yourself this morning your oneness with God. I am one with the life of God, in whom there is no poverty, no sickness, no death, no unhappiness. I claim that life as my life right now, as the health of my body, as the creativity of my mind, as the peace, order, and harmony of my world and of my affairs. I walk away from all lack and limitation. And I say to you this morning, walk away from this service knowing that the presence of God is your power to rise, your strength to overcome, your ability to prosper. You are not a victim, you are. Amen. And so